Okay, so uh, have you ever wondered what a malt kiln operator actually does?
It's not as simple as it sounds.
Yeah, we're going to take a deep dive into this surprisingly complex job today.
It really is something else.
And to guide us, we've got some really great information from RoleCatcher, a
Yeah.
really insightful career development platform.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
Yeah, so they really get into the nitty-gritty of what these malt kiln operators actually BO.
Yeah, you might think it's just roasting grains, right?
Right, like how hard can it be?
Exactly. But it's a lot more technical and a lot more demanding than that.
Definitely.
And trust me, this role is absolutely crucial. We're talking about guaranteeing the quality of the final product, whether it's that malty flavor in your beer or that perfect golden brown crust on your bread.
Absolutely. And speaking of getting things just right, this RoleCatcher guide, it really dives into the technical side of things.
Mm.
And I was blown away by how much goes into
Oh,
it.
yeah, for sure.
These malt kiln operators, they're working with these massive pieces of equipment, kilns, monitoring temperatures, airflow, timing.
It's a real science.
It's like they're conducting this flavor symphony.
I like that. A flavor symphony. That's a great way to put it. And what I find really interesting is that RoleCatcher highlights this whole problem-solving aspect of the job because it's not like just following a recipe, right?
Right.
Different grains, they have different properties. So a malt kiln operator has to really understand these nuances and adjust the entire roasting process to get that perfect result every single time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Talk about being a master of your craft.
No kidding. It reminds me of those cooking shows where they're like, you have to understand how different ingredients react to heat and time.
Exactly.
It's not just throwing something in the oven. You need that deep knowledge to really excel.
It's an art form.
So we've talked about, how important this role is, but what does a typical day even look like for a malt kiln operator? This RoleCatcher guide mentions it can be pretty physically demanding. So let's unpack that a bit.
Yeah, it's definitely not your average desk job.
No kidding.
We're talking about working with these, giant kilns, these massive things,
Right.
often in hot environments,
Oh, yeah.
dealing with dust from all the grains.
Makes sense, yeah.
And depending on the production schedule, you could be looking at some pretty long or unusual hours just to make sure everything's running smoothly.
Oh, yeah. I bet that's a crucial part of the job,
Absolutely.
making sure everything's going to plan.
Right. It's all about consistency.
So it sounds like you need a certain level of, physical stamina to handle the heat, the lifting, being on your feet all day.
Oh, for sure. It's not for the faint of heart. You got to be able to keep up.
Right. Like this job takes both brains and brawn.
I love that brains and brawn. That's it.
But I imagine with those challenges comes a really huge sense of satisfaction.
Oh, absolutely. And RoleCatcher really emphasizes that the rewarding feeling of, creating something tangible with your own two hands. You're
Yeah.
taking these raw ingredients and transforming them into something that brings people joy, a cold beer on a hot day.
I mean, who doesn't love that?
Right. Or a warm loaf of fresh bread with dinner.
Oh, man.
It's got to feel pretty good to be a part of that.
Yeah, it reminds me of that feeling you get after you finish, a DIY project around the house or something.
Right.
Like you put in the work, you see those results, and then you get to share it with others.
Exactly. The fruits of your labor.
Speaking of building something, I was really intrigued by how RoleCatcher lays out the whole career path for these malt kiln operators.
Oh, yeah, they did a great job with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can really see how you can start from the ground floor and work your way up.
It's a real career, not just a job.
Yeah, for sure. So
Yeah.
you might start as like an entry-level operator, right?
Right.
Learning the ropes, assisting with the kilns.
Yeah, getting that hands-on experience.
And they even include a profile of an entry-level operator in here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and this person's already killing it. They're dedicated to learning everything they can. They're taking extra courses.
Really going the extra mile?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shows you that initiative and a thirst for knowledge can really pay off even at that entry level.
Oh, absolutely. It makes a huge difference.
So how do you go from entry level to, say, a junior operator? What does that step up look like?
Well, that's where you start taking on more responsibility, more independence.
Right.
According to RoleCatcher junior operators, they're the ones troubleshooting problems, training newer team members.
Oh, okay.
So you're really starting to get a handle on the day-to-day operations.
Yeah, so it's like that natural progression.
Yeah.
You master the basics, and then you get to flex those problem-solving muscles a little bit.
Exactly. You become the go-to person.
And then you can climb even higher, right?
Yeah, the sky's the limit.
What does the view look like from the top as a senior malt kiln operator?
Okay, now that is where things get really interesting.
Oh.
Because what's fascinating here is that RoleCatcher really highlights how the senior operator role, it's not just about being a master at running the kilns.
Right.
It's about understanding that entire production process from start to finish.
Wow. Okay, so they're overseeing everything.
We're overseeing everything. They're mentoring junior staff. They're analyzing data to fine-tune the entire roasting process for maximum efficiency.
Oh, wow.
They're like the captain of the ship.
So it's a whole other level of expertise.
Oh, absolutely.
They're not just making sure things run smoothly today.
Right.
They're thinking about how to make things even better tomorrow.
Exactly. Long-term vision. That's what it's all about. And
Yeah.
that's something that RoleCatcher emphasizes over and over again,
Right.
the importance of continuous learning in this field.
Oh, for sure.
Technology is always changing, new techniques are emerging, consumer trends are constantly shifting.
Right.
A good malt kiln operator has to be adaptable, always seeking out new information.
Yeah, you got to stay ahead of the curve.
Exactly. Finding ways to apply that new knowledge to their work.
So it's not just a job, it's a career.
A lifelong journey.
Yeah, that keeps you on your toes, constantly learning and evolving.
Precisely. And with all the innovation happening in the food and beverage industry right now, it's an exciting time to be a part of this field.
For sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting ahead in the field, I was super impressed with those tools that RoleCatcher offers
Oh, yeah, me too.
to help people land a job in this industry. It's like they've thought of everything.
It's like they've been inside your head.
They really have. So they have this tool called RoleCatcher, Capture,
I love that name.
and it basically analyzes job postings for you.
It's brilliant. So it analyzes all the different job postings you save, like from Indeed or LinkedIn or wherever,
Okay.
and it pulls out the key skills and qualifications that employers are looking for.
Oh, that's so smart. So you can tailor your resume to perfectly match what they need.
Exactly.
That's a brilliant.
It's like having a secret weapon for your job search.
Right. And it gets even better.
Oh, yeah.
They have this massive database of practice interview questions.
Oh, yeah, I read about that. How many is it?
Over 120,000.
120,000. Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I know. 120,000. I don't even have that many in my trivia night repertoire.
No kidding. That's incredible.
And on top of that, they have this AI-powered co-pilot tool
Yeah.
that gives you feedback on your actual interview skills.
Oh, wow. So it's like having a personal coach right there on your computer.
It really is. It's amazing how technology is changing the entire job search process.
It's pretty mind-blowing. It's easy to get caught up in the individual job search and everything.
Yeah.
But this deep dive has really made me appreciate the bigger picture here.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Look, we've been so focused on the specifics of being a malt kiln operator,
Right.
but we got to remember the impact that they have on,
Well,
everyone.
Exactly.
We're just kind of about the entire food and beverage industry.
The backbone of society.
I know. These are the unsung heroes behind so many of the things that we just take for granted every single day.
It's true.
That perfectly crafted beer, that crusty bread, even some of those crispy snacks. It all traces back to the precise work of a malt kiln operator.
It all starts with them.
And that just blows my mind. At the beginning of this deep dive,
Yeah.
I don't think I really understood the level of skill, the knowledge, the creativity even that goes into this job.
Right. It's so much more than meets the eye.
Totally. And it's this hidden world that most people don't even know exists.
They're behind the scenes making it all happen.
Exactly. And that's what makes these deep dives so fascinating.
I agree.
Because we get to uncover these hidden gems, these hidden worlds, these really interesting jobs.
Shine a light on the people who make the world go round.
Yes. And gain a newfound appreciation for those people behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
Now, here's something I think you'll find interesting to ponder.
Okay.
So we learned that RoleCatcher lists creativity as a pro of being a malt kiln operator.
Right. So they did mention that.
So what unique challenges and creative opportunities might a senior malt kiln operator encounter in their work?
That's a good question.
It's something to think about.
Definitely.
Well, this has been such an eye-opening deep dive into the world of malt kiln operators.
It really has.
It's a good reminder that even in the most familiar things,
Yeah.
like a beer or a loaf of bread,
The simple things.
there are these fascinating stories waiting to be uncovered.
Absolutely.
So thank you for joining us for this journey into the world of malt kiln operators.
Cheers to that.